Let me ask you something. What unspoken agreements are silently shaping your life, draining your energy without you even realizing it? But them terms and conditions, though, that deep print, the fine line, the minute details that have the power to bring value to what you're doing or be the very liability causing a crash course of events because you didn't know. We may think of terms and conditions, they're only involved in a business transaction or a contract, but they apply within the realm of who we are and become. Ooh, and please know, the fine print don't have to be words. Like, look at the tone of what's required. If I do this, what does this action bind me to? Literally, figuratively, emotionally, psychologically, morally, ethical. I mean, where is the tax, honey? Because you best believe there is one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Bi-weekly vibes flow in patterns of what it is to be. Only on the Vibe Clinic podcast. What's up, Conscious Crew, and welcome into this safe space through the Vibe Clinic. I am your humble host, Cece. Today, we are going in on something most people overlook: the fine print of our emotional and psychological lives. This can have a massive impact on our whole well-being. When we become aware of these hidden agreements, we regain the power to renegotiate, change the terms, and ultimately cutting unnecessary costs from our life. Becoming whole, energetic accountants out here in these streets, okay? This podcast is for the big energy spenders, but also ready to not only look in the mirror, but ready to resolve inner issues to live and, most importantly, understand better. Understanding is important to me. That's personal. Understanding changes the schematic of the game, y'all. And gaining an understanding of yourself helps identify the patterns projected in your very reality. And knowing this is half the battle. Now, but knowing this, it opens up the board for you to move accordingly. And technically, that is half the battle. Every time we enter a room, have a conversation, or even just scroll through social media, there's a silent, emotional, and psychological exchange happening. Imagine this is a contract. Imagine we're sitting in my boardroom, right? And it's beautiful in here. It's dope. It's a whole vibe. But we talking business. And imagine this silent, emotional, and psychological exchange. Imagine it as a contract being slid across the table, except we don't always see it more or less clearly. When you interact with someone, you might unconsciously agree to their energy, expectations, or mood. That's something that I've been doing all of my life. And it is so possible, and you don't really realize it until you realize it. It's possible to take on other people's stress. It's possible to adopt their opinions or adjust to their behavior. You know how you start hanging with somebody, or you hang out, you have your friends or whatever, and like they might say something and then you start seeing it, and then like you that is just like a natural thing. That's how easy it is to adjust your behavior to match even unspoken demands. It's very much like signing a contract without reading the fine print. And like any legal document, ignorance of these terms does not exempt you from the cost. Okay? Raising my hand, have you ever found yourself agreeing to something just to avoid conflict? Maybe you nod along, or like me, hit that, yes, dear. Y'all, I do that for real. But seriously, like, she gonna hear that and be like, really? Even when you disagree, because it feels easier. It seems harmless, right? This is an emotional transaction. And the fine print could read, by choosing silence, I agreed to carry the weight of this unspoken tension. These moments add up too. And in a relationship, it could mean silently taking on the other person's emotional baggage or bearing the brunt of their insecurities without realizing it. And over time, like, this drains your energy and create a mental ledger full of costs that you never intend to pay.
Okay, so I had a random thought pop in my head while in the kitchen. I want to know, what was your first introduction to the infamous can opener? Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I'll go first. My first introduction was trying to open a can of tuna, because at the time I didn't know how to cook. Between me and heat, oh no, it just didn't work. I'm a little better now because we grow, we expand, we evolve. So yeah, I want to know, what was yours?
But y'all already know that in the Vibe Clinic, we're going to flip that concept and them constructs upside down to reveal its position to ourselves, right? So let's look within, because terms and conditions aren't just in our interpersonal exchanges. They exist multidimensionally in our thoughts, in our beliefs, and behaviors. These are the subconscious agreements that we make with ourselves about our worth, our potential, and what we believe we deserve. My hidden clause of the way I reacted to failure, once realized, it read, if I fail, I agree to feel unworthy and internalize this very instant, this very failure as proof of my limitations. See, that's that spirit. That's that limiting spirit, that mindset. But God, y'all, make it so bad that fine print was written long before the actual failure happened. Due to past circumstances, due to hearing you can't do that, due to me feeling like I can't do that, due to societal conditioning, due to limited thinking. These things shape how we see the world and interact with it. And having these type of hidden clauses, it stunts our growth. And again, without us realizing it. When we don't sense these subconscious terms and conditions, we unknowingly sign off, just signing on contracts that hold us back. For me, I got caught up living by rules to always put somebody else first. and scared to take a risk in fear of what I might lose. And these rules, air quotes, become the unseen framework for our decisions. And this silently governs our life. And that ain't what it is. Be Awakened is our brand. Paige and I, we developed this lifestyle. I've been influenced personally. Y'all, I'm gonna keep it G. Y'all already know I fought depression, and I went on a journey, and I realized a lot. Still realizing. And so in that journey though, I'm realizing better, just getting in touch myself, and I recognize my own personal space finally, and I embrace it, and little bit by little bit I allow myself to do whatever I haven't allowed myself to do. So, Be Awakened is just that. Paige is ... CC is ... you are ... and those ... represent infinite potential. We can go on and on and on and on, or you can just stop right there. And I love to spread messages of hope. I love to invoke positive thoughts. That's what we produce, healing thoughts. And this podcast is a direct result of that. Then we have monthly inspirations. This monthly inspiration that is something like a magazine. Oh, honey. Join our email so you can download yours. You'll get a copy every month. And I listen to the world. I listen to my community. I listen to the earth. I listen to what God puts in my spirit. And then that's when I come up with a topic. Then that I give insight. That's what I do. I love thinking. I'm a philosopher, and I finally own it, for real. Our monthly inspiration comes straight to your mailbox. Be Awakened. Our content supports the journey of living. Paige even illustrating the funnies. So that's what's up.
Hey, it's Paige, and here's my take on terms and conditions. Terms and conditions is in everything, whether you see it or not, whether you agree with it or not. I mean, just to access an app, terms and conditions. You never read it. You're like, yeah, because it's the only way I'm going to be able to access this to do what I need to do. But having that mindset and realizing that it's in everything can do you justice by being aware that it's in everything.
And what is it?
The policy and procedures, it's you gonna abide by what I say or else.
Or else the access denied.
Correct. Because if you don't agree to it, then you can't access it. But it's that fine print that we are just giving up our will to do it. Because there are terms and conditions and everything, you have to really look at that term and say, like, is this something I want to be a part of? Is this something I want my privacy looked at? Is this something that will benefit me? And if so, how can I use it to where you can only access this part of me because I'm only accessing this part of what you have. Like, not all of me.
Right. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
So that fine print is something, but terms and conditions, it's in everything. And you literally may not agree with it.
Yeah.
But you can go no further.
Yeah.
You might minimize it, walk away, go do something, get a cup of coffee, come back, and it's still there. Because it's going to be grayed out until you click the button, and it's going to highlight, oh, hey, to allow you to move on.
The way you talk about terms and conditions, I love it, because even though it's so plain that even though in your analogy it's hella technology, but that is applied everywhere.
Anything.
The very same steps in what you just said is the very same things we have to realize about ourselves before we can move on.
Correct.
Before we can gain access, just the abundant potential that we have as individuals. So eloquently said. Yeah.
I do what I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Okay. I'll go second. And mine, the can of fruit cocktail. I remember it make it so bad. It was electric. Now we don't even have an electric can. We don't have it. We crank. What'd you call it?
Watch me crank that yank.
Hey.
Watch me crank that. Hey.
So it was so electric. And but anyway, it was a can of fruit cocktail. Leave your answers to Paige's poll question. What was your first experience with the can opener? In comments, let us know. Join the conversation. Be awakened. It is essential to expand in our beautiful awareness. It all starts here. When we expand in our awareness, we start to notice that fine print. Living in the moment grants you the ability to catch the moment when we're about to agree to an unspoken emotional transaction. We can pause and question ourselves. Like, what am I really signing up for here? What is the true cost of this decision? I call this the buffering period. This pause has saved my life. Ain't nothing like that present pause that allow you to access what's really going on behind what is said. The key is understanding that these transactions are not free. They cost us energy. Have you ever left a conversation feeling drained and didn't know why? That's them hidden fees of an unexamined agreement. Expanding awareness, it cuts the costs across the board. Like you stop paying with your energy, you stop paying with your time, and you stop paying with your mental well-being for things that you never truly agreed to. We reclaim the ability to decide consciously and set healthier terms for ourselves. We have got to look at this ledger. And this is where energy accounting comes into play.
Yo, welcome to the Vibes Clinic with CC. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share. You hear that? Hit the like button, subscribe, and share. I see something. You hear that?
Energy accounting is a way of tracking where your energy was spent, just like you would with money in a budget. It's about becoming conscious of your emotional and psychological transactions, identifying where you're investing your energy, and assessing the return on that investment. If we view our energy as currency, then every interaction, thought, and reaction is an expense. The fine print in these exchanges literally outlines the emotional cost we may or may not be aware of. Paying attention to these costs, we can make better decisions about where to invest our energy and time and where to cut the losses. It is so important to really learn to relax in who you are. because expanded awareness means reading the fine print of these transactions before agreeing to them. Get to know you the best and buffer on.
It's an Aloe Thoughts Media production.
How are we going to renegotiate these unspoken contracts, you say? We're going to do an energy audit. Start by tracking your energy. For the next week, pay attention to the moments when you feel a sudden dip in your energy. Like, what is happening at that exact moment? What silent agreement might you have made? I think about that dip. That when I said that, I was really thinking about, like, it's so hard for me to watch TV. I dip deep. You know, I used to be a big reality show person. Now I can't. I just can't. But it's good to realize some stuff. So everything you realize is not going to be like, oh yeah, I need to get rid of that. Some stuff you actually like and then learn that, oh, that's not feeding me. So I'm good on that. That's the very next thing. Identify your fine print. You know, did you silently take on someone else's stress, guilt, or expectations? Like, is this fine print really mine? Is it for me? Or am I just holding it? You know? And then evaluate the cost. This is when you consider how this transaction will affect you. Is this a cost that I'm willing to keep paying? Or is it time to renegotiate the terms? And then lastly, rewrite the contract. Once these silent agreements are identified, then we can choose to rewrite the terms. This could be like setting boundaries in conversations, reframing negative self-talk, or consciously choosing not to compare yourself to somebody else. At the beginning and end of the day, you got this. You got this. There is hidden cost living without awareness. Energy is a finite resource, just like money and just like our experience with time. Many of us still look at price tags, and we have to do the same thing here, which is understanding the emotional cost involved. By using our awareness and energetic accounting, you gain clarity on where your energy is being spent, and you can make conscious decisions that better serves all of you. You know, reading the fine print, auditing your energy, you begin to cut unnecessary costs and the terms and conditions become clear. You get to decide what's worth your time and energy, empowering you to invest in experiences, new relationships, old relationships, and activities that truly enrich your life. Take a moment to audit your energy today. Observe the dips and what's behind them, and start rewriting the terms and see how much more energy you have when you reorganize and choose where everything goes consciously. It becomes interesting when looking at the terms and conditions of society, of love, of a career. But if you're consciously looking at the contract, you really see what's required and move accordingly. Stay sweet, y'all. Stay woke. Stay unique. And until next time, peace.